Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over exercises, things you can consider to do before, during, and after your gaming session to help with your low back pain. It is a compilation of videos that I recorded for my TikTok, but I'm going to go in depth with educating you on the reasons why you should be doing these exercises as well as some of the posture considerations. There's going to be three major parts. We're going to talk first briefly about posture and ergonomics, then go into strengthening, and then go into stretches that you guys can do. So let's go. The very first thing I want you guys to consider when it comes to low back pain with gaming is how do we sit when we're playing on the PC or console, and it's going to be demonstrated in these first two videos, but we are the sum of the postures and positions that we assume throughout the day. And if we are sitting in this tilted or relaxed lean position, our muscles adapt. Some muscles shorten, some muscles get weaker, and we want to avoid that by sitting in more of the healthy position or the more neutral position in which the muscles aren't too short or aren't too lengthened, and that won't cause the weakness that increases the risk that we develop low back pain. So the number one thing I want you guys to know is that you guys should try as much as possible to sit in a more neutral position, the healthy gaming position that's demonstrated in the videos. So in between two rounded and in between two arched, slightly in the center. And if you guys are unsure of what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link in the description for my full guide on posture and ergonomics. So this next video actually describes how you should consider sitting for your lower back. The first thing you got to do is sit with neutral spine, not this rounded position, sitting upright, slight arch in your lower back. Two, you don't want your knees up, as a lot of streamers or a lot of gamers tend to do just because it's a little more comfortable or they have the mobility. And you want to just keep your thighs parallel to the ground. And then lastly, make sure your feet aren't floating off the ground, but they're touching or supported by a footrest to make sure that there's not excessive pressure underneath your thighs, potentially leading to more low back pain. The last point I want to touch on is about gaming chairs, and I always get this question, do I need to have a gaming chair? So I want to settle the score. You do not. Most often gaming chairs are a little too large. They don't have the adjustability that you need to meet whatever your desk size is, whatever mouse and mouse pad space that you need, keyboard space, monitor space. You need to find one that is adjustable to you and allows you to sit with the posture that I just described in the past three videos. So remember, find the chair that works for you. Okay, now that we've gone over posture and ergonomics and how you should sit, let's go over actual strengthening exercises that can help you fix your low back pain. The first few exercises I want to go over help to strengthen your glutes. And a lot of the times, because of how we sit, our glutes are placed in a over lengthened and sometimes over shortened position that leads to it becoming weaker, not able to properly support or help our lower back when we're walking or doing other daily activities. So the first two things you can do are squats and the glute squeeze as shown in the first video, and in the second video there's going to be a single leg bridge that you can do lying on your back, shoulders and hands supported on the ground, and then lifting your butt up, squeezing your butt, repeating those 15 times. And again, with this compilation, I would pool and put some of these exercises together that you can perform in the morning to create a routine for yourself, doing each exercise for about 3 sets. So maybe doing the chair squats, the glute squeeze, and the single leg bridge, 3 sets of 12 to 15 every morning for about 1 to 2 weeks, and you should gradually see your low back pain improve. Another great exercise for low back pain is the plank, and here are 3 mistakes I want you guys to avoid. Make sure that your hips aren't hiked too high. Make sure your shoulders aren't sagging because you also want to engage that serratus muscle. And then lastly, make sure your lower back isn't arched too much. Just like the hiked hip position, you're not engaging your abdominals well enough, and that provides stability to help maintain our sitting position to not have low back pain. So strengthen your core with this exercise, 30 seconds at a time, 3 sets added to your morning routine. Here is another great exercise you can help to strengthen your lower back. All you have to do is scoot toward the edge of your bed, put your hands behind your head, and then lift up and hold That will strengthen your butt as well as your lower back muscles, holding for about 20 to 30 seconds. You can also use this as a test to see if you can hold it for a longer period of time. Alright, now we have finally arrived at the stretch section that will help alleviate temporarily a lot of the stiffness that occurs from prolonged sitting. The first two exercises I want to demonstrate are to stretch your lower back as well as your hamstrings and your butt. And you can do it either in the chair or standing. So you can scoot toward the edge of your chair, open up your legs, and then reach down and through so that you feel the stretch in your hamstrings and your lower back. And then you can also stand up, slightly bend your knees, or if you keep your knees straight, you can bend all the way down, try to touch your toes, and you can use that as somewhat of a test to perform each of those for 20 seconds at a time, doing it in between your game, doing it after your gaming session for about 3 sets to really get a full stretch in. The next two exercises help to stretch a common muscle that's implicated in the low back pain, the quadratus lumborum. All you're going to be doing for the standing version is making sure that your legs are split, one leg's behind the other. You reach up and overhead towards the other side until you feel it in the area as shown, holding for about 20 seconds both sides. And then you can also do the half kneel variant where you are kneeling, lifting up overhead, also getting a stretch of your lat and your triceps as well as your obliques to help overall your shoulders too. This next two exercise series helps to address stiffness in the lower back as well as some stiffness in your thighs. All you're going to be doing is assuming the half kneel position, performing a rotation for about 10 to 12 repetitions, and then holding a quad stretch for about 20 seconds. And it will be helpful to do them in series for 2 rounds. That will help with low back pain again after your gaming session. These last two exercise videos go over a lot of rotation based exercises that will help with stiffness after prolonged sitting because we aren't moving in our spine, so a lot of the sliding joints aren't moving as well, and we need to promote some mobility there so that there's better health in our spine as well as those sliding joints themselves. So first thing you can do is the lower back stretch on the ground, which is super simple, holding and pulling your knees toward your chest, holding about 20 seconds. And then a variant of a lot of the rotation based exercises you guys can just follow on the screen, repeating it, whether it's 10 to 12 times or 5 times if you're performing them all in a series. Try the series together as a whole routine. You can even repeat those for 2 to 3 rounds and have that as a mobility day after your gaming session, or even in the morning when you have been stiff for sleeping for such a long time. Hey guys, that is all. Hope you guys learned a lot about how to keep your lower back healthy. If you guys like this type of video, please let me know in the comments below. And if you feel like this was helpful or can help other people, share this on Twitter, share this on Reddit. I challenge you guys to share it with 1 to 2 other people just so that we can keep our gaming community a little more healthy. Don't forget, subscribe, and see you guys soon.